All right, we're live, streaming live in multiple places. Boom.
Awesome.
Rich Groves in the building. A new flyer behind you there, I see.
That's right.
We got some new events coming up.
Yeah, we got November 19th, the face-to-face meeting at the Hooters Maryland Heights, 6 p.m. That's, for those local St. Louis people or anybody that wants to drive in or fly into St. Louis and meet with us face-to-face. Then we'll have another one of these in 2 weeks on the 24th of November, as long as Chris is up for
it. All right, the 24th, that's close to Thanksgiving, ain't it?
It's the Tuesday before. I'm supposed to have a closing the next day, so we'll see.
Why they put the right up on Thanksgiving like that? Why would they do that?
Because the seller is out of town and needs to come back and get a few things still, so they want to come and do it all at one time, and I guess it made sense for them.
They always got to do something. Here, just sign the paperwork and you can get your stuff out.
I know. I told them, dude, you can come get your stuff now, and they'll overnight you the papers. You sign with the notary, you overnight it back, everything's fine. No, I'd rather get it all done. He's a professor at University of Delaware. I'm adding a voice to him. I've only talked to him one time on the phone. Everything else has been via email.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
When we put it under contract or talked to him about putting it under contract. That when I was actually driving to another appointment, and somebody saw my my signage on the truck, and at the stop line they like honked at me and were like, "Hey, roll that." So I rolled down the window. It was, "Hey, I got to tell you about a house. Can you pull over here?" So we pulled over to the gas station. He was telling me about a house he was on his way to go see to show some other people. I was like, "Well, I'm going to see another one right now, but after that, I'll call you and see if your other people left if you want to meet me." He's like, "Sure." And he's a cousin of the guy selling it in Delaware. He's like, he just wants me to help him get rid of it or get somebody to buy it. I'm like, okay. And the funny thing was, I was working on my offer to send over to him, and I get a call from the guy. He goes, "Yeah, those other guys over there with but right before you, they were actually there still when I should have pulled up. They were just getting in their cars to leave, but they were all there and they saw me. I saw them." He goes, "Those other guys that were there before you, I like you. If I tell you what, if you put an offer in at blah 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 price, I think you'll get it."
He just gonna tell you what to do, huh?
And it was lower than what I was gonna offer. So I go, erase.
Exactly. He who says a number first loses.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, I'll get that over to you in 10 minutes.
I know that's right. Say, I'm glad I didn't say a number. Loose lips sink ships.
Exactly.
So it looked like we got about almost 20 people watching right now. If anybody wants to jump into this stream, if you got the email, you should have it already from Rich. If not, I put the link up at wokerealestate.com as well. So you can just go on there and click that. It'll bring you right in. Just go straight on there and click it. It'll bring you right into the Zoom call. And you'll be in on the virtual networking, just getting it going on.
Yeah. So what's new with you, buddy? What's going on with you this week?
Oh, man, it's so much going on. I don't know what to do with myself.
Hey, good, bud. That's a good problem to have,
Just closed the deal yesterday, working on another deal today. Got a bunch of leads I didn't even call back. I forgot. I hope I can call them back after this. I don't let it get too late now. I hope not. Somebody called from a bandit sign, so he might be worth some. Who knows?
Right.
Put out about 25 of those. So, people say, "Oh, I don't work." But hey, if somebody calls and say they want to sell, how could it not work?
Exactly. It's just like people, people say mailers don't work. People say, all kinds of marketing works if you hit the right person.
That's right. There's Reggie Davis. What's going on, guys? Can you hear me clearly on the live stream, people listening? Because I want to make sure sometimes this does some funky stuff and I don't even know it until like 10 minutes in. Like, really? I got to tell that story again? No.
Right.
You saw close their first deal, Angie.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. That's exciting, man.
That was out in Foley, Missouri. Who wants to go out there?
Foley, Missouri, man, and that's even more impressive. She got it, all the way out in the sticks or like that.
That's right. Hey, as long as somebody want to buy it, we're selling it.
All you need is one buyer.
That's
one
right.
buyer. That's it. You can't have 17 people buying the same property.
You can, but
they form, anyway, an entity. Not 17 individuals. How's that?
I know that's right. That's how they let me see here. What did I do here? They basically though, so that deal was out in the middle of I don't know. I don't even know where Foley, Missouri is. I think it's out past St. Charles or something.
Is it? Okay. Okay.
They say yes, they can hear. Okay. Hey, Deidre, good to see you. Reggie back loud and clear. Yeah. We about to wrap up this house over in Berkeley.
Oh, nice.
We just got to get, paperwork and earnest money. We got a verbal commitment, but that don't mean nothing to me.
Nope.
Gotta
marketing don't stop till the MD drop.
That's right.
Isn't that how you say it?
That's exactly what it is. The marketing don't stop until the deposit is dropped or something.
That's right.
How did it go? Yeah, I think it is.
I forget now.
The marketing don't stop until the deposit is dropped. We'll make it
there
like
you
that
go.
for now.
There you go.
Yeah, if you don't put
that's awesome. Remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about that house in over where you got your first deal, that west dang it, now I'm trying to remember the neighborhood.
I know what you're talking about now. You're talking about over on I'm putting me in the screen.
Right over by, is that Roosevelt High School? No, that's North. No, dang it, I forget. Anyway, it's on Laura, and I went and looked at it, and talking to you and Laura, Lennington, hey, go low, and I did. I mean, I planned on it. I didn't plan on going super low, but they were 115, and I offered them 2,500, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do it that much."
Dang, you went low. You ain't playing. You could have went more than that.
I was like 2,500, and then they said, "Oh, we can't do that." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I could probably do 5,000. If you're brothers and you want to sell it right away, I could probably do 5,000. Well, I need to get back with my brother. I need to talk to my brothers and find out, but we can't do 2,500." And she was nice about it. Everything's fine. Like when I was there at the meeting, or when we met, I told him, a number is just a number. It doesn't mean it's no insult to you. It's not because I don't like you. It's what the numbers are. So if you don't like it, we can always shake hands and walk away as friends. Don't take it personally. Don't be insulted.
No.
Yeah, I like that.
No harm, no foul. Exactly. So and it's good. See, you be having those lines, Rich. You just let them know, yeah, we're friends afterwards. You just make it feel so nice. I'm gonna give you $2 for your house, but we're friends afterwards.
Exactly. I'm gonna give you $2 for a house, but I'll buy you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'll buy a cup of coffee with your $2. So really, I didn't even buy it.
Exactly.
If you don't go to Starbucks, what's it like $6 or something silly there? But dang,
right, we'll go up to the Circle K, get a cup of coffee.
Exactly. What up, though? Chris Jackson in there too. So yeah, if anybody wants to join into the Zoom, like I said, I put the link up at wokerealestate.com. You can just go there and click that link, and it'll bring you right into the Zoom call. Unless you got the email from Rich already, should be in your thing. You can come on in and talk some real estate. This is for national real estate investors. You can be anywhere, right?
That's right.
What if you're in Canada?
Oh, well, hey, come on, bring it in. I think we had that gal from Canada that one time. So we've had Canadians.
That's right. What if you're in Mexico?
Hey, as long as it's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of events down here this weekend. I think a lot of real estate events. I think there's one down in San Antonio. I think I saw one in Dallas, Texas, and then the DRIP conferences this weekend too. But that's virtual.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
So there's all kind of stuff going on.
What is that? I know you're not involved with it, but I know you're going to it, right?
Which one?
The DRIP. Sorry, the DRIP.
It's virtual, so you just log on your phone. Yep, kind of like this.
Really?
Yep. You don't have to even go. You just pick a phone. You want this phone or you want this phone, and go ahead and do your thing.
I saw the two price points, like $99 for, I guess you can see it live and the replays, and then like $49 for replays.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in my situation, being that I'm usually working all day, I probably need to. I may jump in on that $49 thing to see what's out there.
Right. I was thinking about driving down there to Texas. That's kind of a long drive. That was like 14 hours, ain't it?
Who's doing it?
Aaron Bevins, the Superhuman Wholesalers.
Really? Dang. Yeah, maybe that'd be fun. It'd be a nice little road trip.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna do that, I need to stay about a week.
Yeah, true.
Get to some drive all far, turn right back around and drive all far again. I could fly, but I'm like,
yeah. You
got the COVID and the Rona, and you got to do all this and be all up on these people. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's easier just to drive down, a little safer for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. You're the only one breathing your germs, right? Or nobody else's germs is more important.
I know that's right. Look like we got a question in here for you now, Rich.
Okay, what's up?
If I'm starting out and I don't know too much about real estate, what should I avoid and what should I focus on the most?
Oh man. I don't know what you think about that, Chris. I just think the easy if you're just getting started, I think the easiest thing to figure out is wholesaling, probably. That's just, I mean, that it's I think it's easiest to figure out. I think it's the least risk. And then obviously you want to focus. I would avoid wanting to cover too much ground too soon. Try to spread yourself too thin. Trust me. I mean, I remember those days where every call I was chasing every house. I don't care. They could tell me, "Hey, I want 80,000 for my $20,000 house," and I'm going there hoping I could talk them down.
Say learning to negotiate belly to belly with the seller, huh?
Right. So now I wish I would have taken the advice, because everything I had heard and read and whatever said, be patient, pick your battles. Don't go to every single appointment. If the numbers don't make sense, don't waste your time. I'm like, screw that. They don't know what they're talking about. I can talk them into it.
I'm going to meet a dude tomorrow like that. He got 9 houses, so we just pray for me.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. Oh man.
But to answer his question, if I'm starting out and don't know too much about real estate, what should I avoid and what should I focus on the most? Yeah, I would agree with that part about wholesaling. And when it comes to wholesaling, it's real simple. Get really good at marketing to attract these motivated sellers, or find these people who got a problem that need to get rid of a property. Either you're going to find them or they're going to find you. And what you should focus on the most is marketing and sales. It's really that simple. Yeah. It's marketing, and then you got to close them in the end of all of that, if there's something there, unless you start getting into some other creative stuff. But the baseline starts out, you got to market. If they don't know you, they can't flow you.
Right. And that's what we're in. I mean, you hear it from, big time people like fortune builders, people, real flow people. I mean, all these big time wholesaling teams and whatnot will tell you, we're not so much in a real estate business. We're in a marketing business. And it's true. I mean, it is. It is. You can have the best deal in the world, but if you don't know how to get that in front of buyers, you're not going to make any money. You could be the smoothest negotiator in the world, but you can't get in front of any sellers. You're not going to get any deals.
That's right.
Not a market.
You can sing better than Whitney Houston, but if ain't nobody heard you sing, don't mean nothing.
That's right, man. That's right. Oh, that's so true.
Oh. You can be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But if they don't know you, what they gonna do?
They can't. Nope. They can't. They can't know you. I mean, yeah, that's so true. It really is.
And that's for all businesses. That's not even just for real estate. That's for any kind of business you're in. You still gotta have some type of prospecting or lead generation, generating leads. We hit about, almost 800 people today. That's probably one of the biggest lists I ran. I don't know how many leads came from it. I haven't looked at it yet, but I ran a pretty big campaign today for the first time, a bigger one. I usually only do 200 or 300 at a time, but this is like double that, almost triple.
Awesome, man.
So we're going to see how this goes. I saw we did get 2 leads for sure, but I don't know what else came in since I checked it this morning.
Use a bigger net. You're going to catch more fish.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, though. You'd be like, pull a big old list and hit everybody and pray that something happens.
Yep. No, I completely, I agree with that. It freaks you out, especially as when you got your comfort zone and you step outside that comfort zone, man, it can scare the crap out of you.
Most definitely. I've been using this new dialer and a text message and a calling system. So it's dropping voicemails, text, and call all at the same time. So it makes it kind of easier.
I'd love to talk about that. I'm still trying to figure out what's the best one. I mean, I've got some some things that are working, but I'd like to see if I can put them together instead of having 3 separate pieces.
Yeah, you can put them all together. You can just try to. I even got a link just for you. WokeReply.com.
Woke Reply. Let me jot that down here. Woke Reply.
Cold calling, text messaging, voicemail drops, all automated, and you don't have to do anything. That's the thing I like about it. You can set it and almost forget it. All you got to do is really set it up and then start talking to people. That's what I like about it.
Right. And you record your voicemails, right?
Yeah, so it's all automated. So you just set it up. So the way mine is set up is first we drop a voicemail. 30 seconds later, we send a text automatically. Awesome. If they don't respond within 24 hours, they get another text.
Okay.
And no, they get another call and another text if they don't respond. And then 3 days later, they get another text. 7 days later, they get another touch. and then another 14 days. So you can put them on different campaigns. So you can set it up, and you can even put a call within it if you want to. So it's kind of really crazy. I mean, I'm just, been using it for a few weeks now. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. I like it. I vouch for it. I don't vouch for a lot of stuff unless it's great.
WokeReply.com. I'm going to check it out. I will. I will.
Yeah, you'd be like, man, I should have had this the day I started. I mean, because all it is people, they call you back and stuff, like saying, did you just call me a minute ago, or either or take me off your list, or what makes you think I want to sell? Are you saying a for sale sign in the yard? The typical replies, but
yeah,
I mean,
that's what you get every once in a while when you're skip tracing. You get 7 numbers on one address, and it's like, okay, let's hope one of these works, and all 7 are bad, or 3 of them might be bad numbers, and they're I live in Massachusetts. I don't even live in St. Louis. I don't live any place. That's fine. You got any houses to sell in Massachusetts?
There's some to do that too. Yeah, I'm out of town. Actually, I almost did a guy's deal like that. He was out of town. Like, yeah, well, you'll buy over here? Yeah, we'll buy. I hope I know somebody there.
Right. Yeah. No. It's incredible, man. It's yeah. That's all. I mean, that's awesome. Hopefully you get some good deals out of that.
As a matter of fact, we just got a deal down in Jacksonville, Florida. You know anybody down there?
I mean, I know some Florida. I know actually. I mean, depending on how close it is to the beach, I got a friend that actually asked me to look for like a beach property for she and her boyfriend or husband. I forget if they're married yet or not. I know that was bad. Hopefully, you're not watching this. No, not you. It was somebody else. No, that they said she wants to buy a beach house in Florida.
I know that's right.
Hopefully, that'd be nice. That'd be cool though, man. I mean, surely you can find somebody. I'm getting ready to launch. Oh, I actually got some mailers launched out. Chris, you'd be proud of me, buddy. I launched my first, my first virtual campaign to Indianapolis.
What you doing leaving the market? You better stay in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, that's still gonna be my bread and butter. I'm just, I'm dipping my toe in the pool to see how deep it is, man. But I met a guy in Indianapolis that has been investing for like 20 years. And we were on a couple calls together on different real estate investing groups and stuff. And it was weird. It was like it was a recording webinar that we were on. And then I was watching the playback. And all of a sudden it was a Zoom. And all of a sudden this phone number kept flashing up on the screen. Like the speaker would talk, but then it would cut out and be the phone number. Kind of like you get set on here where it's just speaker view. So you only see the speaker talking. Well, it was almost kind of like that, where they were on their phone and maybe they talked and it thought they were talking, so it kept popping up their phone number because he didn't change his phone number name to his name. It was just his phone number. So I kept watching. I'm like, who is this? So I texted him. I texted the phone number. I was like, hey, who is this? And he's like, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, cool. What market are you in? He's like, Indianapolis. And I've been wanting to get into Indianapolis for a while. So I started talking like, hey, man, would you be interested in being boots on the ground if I launch campaigns? He's like, yeah. I said, I'll launch campaigns, and the calls will come in. You be the boots on the ground, and we'll work and JV some deals. He goes, sure.
Dang, look at you out here networking, Rich.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have known, but that phone number kept bugging me. It was like, why is this popping up? So who is this?
Who is this over here? Something going on. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Keith Winkler's coming in. I think I saw Chris Jackson's coming in.
Oh, there we go. There's some people. Yeah. Chris Jackson, there's the man with the plan down in Texas.
He's only got just his eyes right here above the screen. What's going on, Chris? Mr. Jackson.
You're muted. If you're saying something.
Sorry, buddy.
But yeah, down in Dallas, that's the hot market, they say.
Yeah, Dallas is supposed to be hot. I really would like to get into that market. I really, really do want to.
It's competitive, they say. It is. You ain't scared of no competition.
Nah. Nope.
Say, bring it on. That's all you got for me?
Right. I mean, you're either going to get no calls at all or you're going to get no calls. But it don't matter. All you need is that one yes to get a deal done.
That's all it takes is one person, because you just don't know.
I stand by it. I think it's a Zig Ziglar thing. Sales coach Zig Ziglar said every no you hear brings you closer to a yes.
That's right. I want them to say yes.
Yep.
That's what it takes. Who is this
Keith
calling?
Winkler, what's happening, sir? You're on mute. You're on no video. You're just hanging out listening, huh? He's probably making some food and didn't want to eat in front of us.
Hello?
How you doing, Dick?
I'm multitasking.
All right, multitasking. Yes, sir. That's awesome. Keith is the man making everything happen that, all at one time. He's always multitasking, man. That guy is a multitasking machine. You'd think Keith would have 36 or 72 hours in a day.
Let's see here. Somebody say behind the lens TV. Hey, Chris, that wholesale deal paying out you were trying to buy for 110. Yeah, verbally. I'm waiting on her to send a contract back. She's kind of elderly, so whenever she gets on the computer, we'll do that deal. Even though it's kind of tight and skinny, but we'll see. It ain't gonna do no harm, no foul. I'll see if I can find her a buyer. If somebody will take it, they'll take it. So verbally, yes. Real life, no. At the moment.
Gotcha.
Deidre wants to know, what is the best list to pull for wholesaling vacants or pre-foreclosures?
Best list. Vacants or pre-foreclosures. I mean, it depends. I mean, almost, a lot of these software systems out there now, you can go and build your own list and stack different criteria. I mean, vacant. Honestly, everybody, and not everybody says it maybe, but one of the big things is if you're looking for vacant properties, if you can stack, look for out-of-state absentee owners. Out-of-state absentee owners is where the gold is.
I want them far away. They ain't even thinking about that house. Like, man, I forgot I own that house. I will sell it. Dang, right, I'm here.
Exactly. Let me check my bank statement. Oh, yeah, my tenant hasn't paid in 6 months. Yeah, I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I even got a spiel for people like that. When I find out they're out of town, I live in, like we just talked to a guy, he's in Minnesota, but his house is here in Hazelwood or somewhere. I was like, yeah, we specialize in working with people that are out of town and make this easy for you. We specialize in that.
Right. Heck yeah, you do. You sure do, man.
I don't never want to meet you. I just want to do the deal.
Exactly. I don't even know if I'll meet this guy in Delaware. That's coming. He's probably coming down. I'll probably meet him, but who knows? I don't know.
That's right. There's Angie B.
Out of state. I mean, if you're talking about vacant properties, it's just out of state adds that extra layer of motivation.
Yeah, who wants to come back to St. Louis, especially when it's getting ready to get cold?
Yep.
I'm in Florida. I ain't coming back there. I'll be like, yeah, you don't have to.
That's the best thing about the Midwest market, period. Whether it's St. Louis or Chicago or Detroit, things like that, is that most of the absentee owners, they lived in the Midwest during the boom years when, Hussman, Ford, Chrysler, GM, all those things were up and rolling. And then when they decided to move, when the market crashed, they really don't have any more attachment to the Midwest. They've moved on to other places far away, and it's like the chances of you locking up that property is very high.
Yeah, good point.
That's what a dude told me when I was out in Las Vegas last year. The taxi driver or Uber driver, whatever he was, he's like, yeah man, I'm from Minnesota. I wouldn't go back. I don't know why people live in those cold climates. He said he ain't never coming back. He had on shorts and everything. It was November like now. He's like, I don't know why people live in them cold climates. Big guy too. I was like, you look warm enough. You ain't hurting.
Right. Yeah. Let's be honest, sir. You weren't cold up there.
It was perfect for you. No. Let's see.
Oh, that's so true, man. So
Somebody on Facebook asked, do you put the name of your company on the car signs, or do you just add a phone number and we buy houses?
I don't think it's necessary to have your company name. A couple reasons. Let me say a couple reasons. I'll probably have 3 reasons here. One is that people aren't, and let's just be honest, people don't care what your company name is. They don't. Can you solve their problem? That's it. They want to know, can you solve their problem? Now, company name, getting a catchy name, and that stumbles people. That makes people stumble on even getting started. It's like, I can't start marketing yet because I don't have a company name yet. I don't have the perfect company name. Rich buys houses, or whatever. Brian buys bedroom, whatever. Who cares? Market. But as far as like your signs and stuff, they just want to know what you do. So shoot, if you're you've seen those, right? You even the yard signs, the bandit signs, even where you're driving by and the letters, the text are so small you can't even read what it said. You can't even read the phone number. The big thing you want on your sign is you want a big visible phone number and you want a big visible what do you do. And that's all people need to see. They need to see you buy houses or houses for cash or whatever, and a big phone number to call. Now, if you got enough space, you put a website on there or something like that. I mean, you can do that, but that's all you need, really. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you want to add to that, Chris?
I think that self-branding is best. And when I say self-branding, you can always have a company name. Like I have a company name, but I don't use my company name for marketing. Everything is Chris Jackson Buys Houses. The reason why is because I'm to a point to where I'd rather you go to Google and type in my name. You know what I mean? Go to Google and type in Chris Jackson Buys Houses and see a bunch of pictures and social media links and website links to what I do. To where you understand, okay, this guy is serious about what he does versus Zoom house buyers. Zoom house buyers could be anybody. It could be any personality. It could be a million people in that company. But who are you going to connect with at the end of the day? You're going to have to talk to somebody. So I'd rather it be, you know, exactly who you're talking to or who you're looking for. And you'd be surprised when you get on the phone and it's actually Chris Jackson. You know what I mean?
Hey, I just saw you on social medias. Is this really you?
Right.
Yeah. And I think people would resonate with a person more so than a company because they think they're probably going to get some type of operator, some assistant, or something like that. Even though we do have VAs that make phone calls for us, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the outgoing marketing. You know what I mean? But at some point, they want to talk to somebody in charge.
Yep.
That's true.
That can make decisions. So I think if you're just starting off, go to GoDaddy and see if your name is available. If your name is John, Allen, whatever, Allen Buys Houses, is not going to cost you anything but $1.17 plus tax.
Yeah, I got about 40 domains.
.com.
I got 40 domains, so I know.
Yes, I mean, and then you can connect it to Zoho. Zoho is free for a company email, so you can have John at johnbuyshouses.com. Everything's synced together. Create a couple of social media profiles with the John Buys Houses, and there you go. At some point, you do enough online, it's going to start registering. It's going to stick. And people can actually go type it in. I ain't done much with the Chris Jackson Buys Houses as far as marketing, but if you go look at it, it's a few things up there for you to know that I'm half serious about what I'm doing.
Right.
I would agree with all of that. And
100%. Yeah, 100%. Because if you're, I mean, and that's the difference too. Like Chris is talking about his social media presence, his online presence, it's all branded, self-branded, absolutely. But when you got just a second to connect with somebody on like a sign or a billboard or I don't know, whatever, don't worry about that. Just get them a name. What do you do? Or a number. What do you do? Boom. And then when they type, and then if they type in that number, some people may Google that number, like, who is this? And then guess what? It comes up, Chris Jackson Buys Houses. Right.
If you put enough information out there with the same telephone number, email, or website, or whatever you put on your billboards, your bandit signs, they're going to be able to Google, and some people are smart enough to Google the number before they call it.
Yeah.
And they'll see it.
Yep. Most definitely. So yeah, just like Rich said, that that ride by stuff, name, phone number. Don't get too deep if you're talking about signs on a car, bandit signs, that type stuff. But as far as overall marketing, so we use company marketing and we use private marketing because in my experience, I found that some people say, I'm looking for your type of company that buys raggedy houses. They are specifically looking for it. They don't want, they want a company that's going to come in, buy it, make it easy. And so we play both sides of the fence. We play the street guerrilla marketing. And then, yes, if you look up St. Louis cash buyers, how easy is that? That's too easy of a name. Brrr, all that stuff you see online, you're like, oh, how you get on the first page of Google? I think we like the second or third one organic from some search terms. So we get a lot of leads from our website, by the way, too. So it's worth it to do the search engine optimization and stuff if you're planning on doing long-term business as an actual.
And then too, you run across those people that are old school, man. You run across a lot of owners that are old school as far as business, and if they don't see something that they like as far as a company name, for some reason, it gives them I guess a sense of security when they see a big company name and stuff like that. Like I've went to appointments here in Dallas and got turned away because I don't carry business cards. I don't operate like that. I got digital business cards on my phone that I usually text people. And I always tell them, like, I don't carry business cards because 9 times out of 10, you're going to throw it away, or I'm going to mess them up in the car. They're going to be wet, stuck together or something. And it's just easier for me to text you a digital business card. That way it's stuck in your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've had people like, oh, you don't have a business card? Yeah, I'm not going to open up the property. I'm not.
When I walk up to them, that's the first thing I hand them is the card. And it's a picture of me on there. It's got the company name, website. They don't have to think credibility. I want instant credibility so I can close them if I'm going to see somebody. Because I don't meet a lot of people. But if I'm going to see you, you're definitely giving me a good deal because I don't want to be playing around, visiting and doing all that. It's the Roma season.
Yeah, and one of the things I've started doing too, as far as like even locking stuff up virtually over the phone, or if I do go to an appointment every now and then, because I don't fool with the appointment stuff. I rather send the buyer because I'm not buying it. I mean, I'd rather the buyer go over there and look at it. But the proof of funds and the seller credibility packet, seller expectation packet. As soon as we get off the phone, or even if we're on the phone, those are the first things you're going to get from me. That way it takes all the headache of what's your offer. Sometimes they don't even go to that extent because they already see the proof of funds. They see the hard proof of funds. They see the bank statement and they're like, okay, he's serious, but we just got to get to a number. Because sometimes, like I said, people get antsy when it's not a big company. Or, the trust level nowadays is very minimum with everything that's going. It's so much out there, so much online. People don't know who to trust and who you are. So the more you can put out there about yourself is the better. Another thing about that self-branding is it might not always be wholesaling. You might get into another business as far as, just period, and you still have some credibility. Online. It don't make a difference what business you jump into. They see, okay, he does real estate too, so on and so forth. But self-branding is key if you're gonna be in business.
Sure.
That's right. You got to do it because you see my logos and stuff be around. I'm still Chris Monroe. You can Google me no matter what, and it's still gonna say, "Dang, this dude do all this real estate and stuff. He got all this content. Dang, he ain't playing." And I've actually done deals with sellers who said, "Oh yeah, I looked you up online to see that I really am about that life." And even if they go to the website, they'll see testimonial videos with buyers and sellers that we've helped in the past. So I even tell them, go check out and see what other people are saying, go see, and they'll go look at it, or I just say, here's our website, and they find it on their own. Say, oh yeah, you're serious. So credibility is usually not an issue. What do you do about that?
Can you imagine how frustrating it is, or how crazy people look in the multi-level marketing industry? They were with Flat Tummy Tea last year, and now they're with the organic tea people, and they got all these different companies and no self-branding. You just might as well brand yourself and hey, this is the product I have this product, I have this. So there's no question, and you don't look crazy jumping from company to company.
Right.
Almost like insurance, you're with State Farm this year, you might be with Remax or whatever the case may be. People just need to know you're the insurance guy.
That's right. I solve people's problems. Bring me a problem.
Right.
That's right.
All right, cool. Let's see here.
So you like the REI reply and the marketing system?
Oh yeah, I've been using it for a few weeks. I mean, I just wrapped it up recently, but I mean, we've been using it I mean, I don't even use it all. I mean, the thing does so much where it's like, dang, man, this thing do everything. I don't even have to even think. I mean, it does stuff that you don't even remember you had to do. You know, it's like, it's kind of spooky. It's almost like PropStream in a way where it does so much stuff. You don't even use 10% of the value of what it brings, you know, because you don't realize the power of the internet and software and using computers for stuff. Because we think, oh, I got to do that. Oh, I got to remember that. Man, you ain't got to do nothing. Set that thing up and forget it. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, once I saw it, I've been using it for about a year now. And once I saw it, it was like I turned everything off and my marketing budget went. My marketing budget is slim. It's like it's no point of having all this other stuff. Everything's right there.
Yeah, I mean, your phone calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. I mean, everything's there. What else do you want? What else would you possibly? Your CRM, you don't need Podio or none of these people. What is it? Lead Sherpa to charge you what, $500 or $600? I mean, that stuff, how is that? Websites, all of that stuff, all available.
Nice.
The low barrier to entry on the marketing side of it, the cost, the actual cost. You're talking about some of these other services, they charge them what, 3 to 6 cents per text.
That's too high.
You're talking a half a penny, bro. Like you can text the world over here. Like you don't even have to think about that part. You can put $100 in there, and you're safe for a couple of weeks if you're not in there, you know, just rationing out thousands and thousands of text messages.
Oh, we killing the game. We hit the whole St. Charles. I mean, we got cussed out last week. Now we're hitting another part of St. Louis, and next week we'll be hitting another part. So we've been hitting them. So I'm like, wait a minute, they're gonna make me go virtual now. If I'm gonna hit this many people this quick and get these many responses, Lord. They in trouble.
Yeah. You're gonna cause some problems over there. St. Louis.
Hey.
Lord have mercy.
They already been hanging up, but you know, it's part of the game on some of that stuff, so I can't worry about it. It's just you want to sell or you don't.
Yeah.
Some people want to hold you on the phone. So where did you get my number? You know what? I looked it up online. Everything's on Google, you know.
Yeah. I'm surprised people still get hung up on that stuff. They get adamant about. I've had some people. I talked to this one lady up in Iowa, and she was like, "Yeah, either you're hustling or you're doing something." I'm like, "Lady, look, it's the internet age. Like nothing's safe. You can go buy a cell phone tomorrow, and you make 2 or 3 phone calls to your creditors." And somebody's going to have your new number, and I'll be able to get it 15, 20 minutes later.
Wow, you told them that straight like that?
Yeah, because people get caught up in like it's super secretive, and it's not. Once you give a creditor your telephone number, anybody that does anything with public records or credit bureau, once you give them that new telephone number, we have access to it within 24 hours.
Yep. True. It's like, oh, didn't you apply for that car loan? Oh, didn't you apply for? Yep. Yeah, that's how we got the number.
Everybody has this number. Well,
remember that TV you got at Rent-A-Center?
Man, I got a Google Voice number that I've had for about 15 years. I use that number. I don't even publish my regular number nowhere.
Yeah, me either.
My main number, unless you know me or something, that's the only way you got that number. But on the internet, as far as the internet, look at that. No, my home is not for sale. Somebody just popped in now.
Oh, sorry.
They still reply. Oh, you can't see it on my screen, I don't guess, but somebody just popped in and say, no, my home is not for sale.
Oh, that sucks. No.
So are you gonna leave your uncarried up?
I don't know. I mean, that's only $50. I mean, I might leave it up. Plus, it's already working and generating.
Okay, so you on the base plan on carry then.
Yeah, so what I was planning on doing, I don't know if I should say this online. No, I ain't gonna say it online. I'm gonna make multiple websites.
Yeah.
No, you can.
Yeah, like, one for every area.
Yeah, so that's I think that would be a smart idea, even though we kind of do business in the same market. Yeah, but it's easy.
I've built over 50 websites anyway, so I mean it can't be too hard on there to do it. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna have my virtual assistant do it because I've been putting them to work more. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all seem like y'all getting lazy over here. Let me make sure y'all load it up with work.
Yeah.
Sitting on my clock.
So what's the climate been like over there in St. Louis with the deals? Is it picking up or is it slowing down?
It's been pretty good overall. I mean, I wouldn't say it's crazy busy or nothing. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, it's been real good. This, yeah, it's been. I think it's been great. I think it's been real good lately.
I mean, but I don't really work the real estate full time. I'm starting to give it more of my attention now. I'm only doing like 2 deals a month. I'm trying to get it ramped up to like five to seven a month. But like I say, my attention is on my other businesses, like my store and all this other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, let me get back on this real estate. This is where the money at. I'm playing around, doing all this other stuff. Get focused.
You got to remember, it's like Shark Tank, Chris. Right? When they bring a product to Shark Tank, they're like, here's our 5 smoothies. Here's our 5 smoothie flavors. You got to back us. And they're like, what are the 3 best selling smoothie flavors? Get rid of the other 2. We're only carrying the 3, right? There you go. What's your top 3 streams, buddy? Come on, man, capitalize that. Get rid of the other stuff.
That's right. That's right. Jonathan Branch is asking you, how do I get those out-of-state absentee owners that you were talking about earlier, Rich?
So I mean, I'm sure a lot of these CRM softwares are, the real estate software out there does it. I mean, I know I use RealFlow. I can do it that way. But you can go to like ListSource, and you should be able to stack some requirements for your list and build your list that way. But like all the other ones out there, you should be able to stack your list and build a list that way.
Yep. That's what I would suggest. Go and get you that prop string. Get you a 7-day free trial at wokesource.com is what I would say. And then you'll be hooked. Be like, man, I'm supposed to have this the first day. You've been on there for a while, Chris, like some years or something?
Yeah, I've been on there since like end of 16, beginning of 17.
Day one and stuff. No, they've been out since like 09 or something, 10.
And they harassing me because they had the $59 plan when they came out with that.
You grandfathered in.
Yeah, but sometimes I turn my debit cards are off.
Mm-hmm.
So when the monthly payment rolls around and my debit card is off, it doesn't get a chance to charge the card, and it'll shut the account down, and I have to call them. And this last time they were like, yeah, you let the account lapse again, you're gonna be on $99.
Oh,
like,
you better not never let that cancel. You better leave that account up, and if worst case scenario, let somebody else use and give you the $100.
Yep. Yeah. So I actually do have somebody that uses it more so for pulling the list, because I don't need to really pull lists out of there like that. Like I'm to the point now to where I can go in there and I know what I need, and I can pull a nice amount, but majority of it's going to be left in there. About 8,000-9,000 of it's going to be left in there.
Yeah, 10,000 leads a month is a lot of leads. Can you talk to 10,000 people in a month?
Yeah, and then if you like, I'll give you an example. When PropStream in 2007, before it started becoming really hot, they didn't have a cap on 10,000.
Wow.
You can go in there, because I have it and I have it skip trace. You can go in there and pull 100,000 leads.
Yeah, you can. A lot of people don't see that.
Wow.
So when they put the cap on it, it was after the fact they gave out all the the links, and it became really big. That's when they put the cap on. Oh, you can only download the 10,000, but before you can go in there and type in St. Louis County, and if 80,000 records came up,
download that bad boy.
You can download the whole 80,000. And at that time, I had an IDI account, which is mainly what everybody skip tracing is IDI.
Are they good? Because they keep calling me. They've been calling me so much. It's like, golly.
It's the same. It's just that's where everybody's getting their data from. They just put a markup on it.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
But the only thing about IDI data that I will say is, if you're not into skip tracing a certain amount of leads a month consistently, is not the thing to do. I'm not saying that it's not worth it. It's not the thing to do, because regardless if you skip trace those 10,000 leads or not, they're going to bill you because you have a monthly commitment with them.
That's where they get you.
That's good
Yeah.
shit. I mean, because some people
I've spent over $20,000 with them. Like, I could show you the bill. And after that
They love you.
20,000, that was my last time for the monthly commitment. I was like, nah.
That
I
dude
can't
calls
do
me
it.
twice a week trying to get me to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing volume, it's worth it because you don't have to wait on anybody to skip trace anything for you. Like, you can download your list. It don't make a difference if it's 50,000 leads. You can go in their FTI portal, drop it in the folder, and you're gonna get an email within about 30 minutes that list is ready, and it's gonna be a 98% hit rate.
Dang.
It's to the point to where you're gonna be ready to start calling and texting folks right then and there. It don't make a difference if it's 11 o'clock at night. You're gonna be like, I got this new list, I'm ready to go. But it's expensive, man. It's expensive.
Yeah, that's probably
But
how
at that time
I think that's how ours is set up. Is them, and then it's like sectioned out. That's how woke skip tracing is set up to come right back real quick like that.
Yeah.
Without that monthly commitment and all that drama, it's just real simple. Go get it as low as 15 cents per match. So it's a lot easier. I think.
And honestly, I still do deals off that list, and I purchased that list probably 2018.
It's still good.
It's a big list to the point to where, man, you're not gonna hit all three of them. You probably got 3-4 numbers on each seller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, each address has 3 or 4 telephone numbers, 3 or 4 emails. Then you got 5 relatives. Man, you ain't gonna hit all the numbers. You know what I mean? The first go around, you got to go back through it 2 or 3 times. To be honest with you, I've even given that list to other wholesalers in the DFW area. Like, we swapped lists. Like, I got this list here, you can have it. They send me a list that have about the same amount of people on it, and we still doing deals off those lists. Don't ever get caught up on the data, man. Like, I see people all the time say, oh, everybody using the same list. Yeah, it is the same list. I mean, if the people still own the house, it's gonna be the same list. But this guy that I switched lists with at that time, they wasn't doing SMS. So their lists to me were virgin lists, because that's all I do is SMS and voice broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
They do cold calling. So my list to them was a virgin list because it hasn't been cold called.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't think about. The marketing channel. It's not if it's been called or, you know what I mean? Like, if
that's
it's
true.
The same people, it's what you're going to do with it when you get it.
Just like the guy I'm going to meet tomorrow. He like 78 years old or something. He say, I don't do text messages and email and all of that. You have to call me. I figure people want to call me if they want to speak to me. So if we didn't cold call him, we would have never got that guy with all them houses. Don't mean we're going to get anything out of it, but he said, yeah, I don't do no email. You know more about it than me. Because I was reading on the thing. I'm like, is this your email? Gary at whatever, something. And he was like, oh, you know more than me because I don't do no email. And it was under his company. I mean, it really was his email, but he don't know.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That's craziness for you.
I seen a thing on MSNBC about the guy that owns Patron. He doesn't use email or any of that. And he has like the most poppin'est liquor out in the streets.
Right.
He was in his office making some phone calls. He pulled out the yellow pages.
Oh,
he's like, I got to call this guy. And he pulled out the yellow pages. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, he probably got like some back pocket money where he got other people that operate on the same level.
Wow.
They don't do any of the emails or anything
Let me
like
see
that.
Let me see if I can find a yellow pages laying around here.
Man,
Right.
I ain't even seen the yellow pages delivered in I don't know how long. You probably got to be on a special list to get a phone book.
You got to pay for that, man.
We just got one.
You just got one?
We literally just got one, and my wife said, "Do you want this?" I'm like, "No. What do I need that for? I got it right here on my phone."
I know they expensive as hell for the marketing because when they used to hit us when I had a cleaning business a few years back, YP.com, they was high. I'm like, boy, y'all keep trying to get me on here and move me up to the top of the page. It's only this much. No, I'm good.
$300-$400. Yeah.
Right.
It's high as hell.
Right.
YP.com making that money.
I'm surprised people still advertise in the newspaper, like, you know, in the real estate section.
Right.
Because I know that stuff is expensive, and I'm thinking, like, you know how many text messages and cold calls you can send out for
It
what
can't be
you...
too much though. What, 40, 50 bucks maybe?
Nah, I think they still charging the max.
Oh yeah, they've got to.
I need to be in
Come
the
on, man,
classified.
that ink and paper costs.
Yeah,
True.
classified ads though. I mean, you reaching an elderly segment, and some people still read the paper. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody in the comments, anybody ever did an ad. I ain't seen nobody do that. I mean, I don't think it's scalable, but it is something that you can do to generate some leads.
I've done that. I've done ads in North. It was North County News, I think, something like that. I had a little ad, like business card size ad in that newspaper for a while. That got me a few leads, not a ton. It was, I mean, it paid for itself, but I ended up just stopping it just because I wasn't getting enough calls to just keep doing it. I guess I could have.
It's brand awareness. That's all it really is.
Right.
They remember your name for the future. That's all they can say.
Exactly.
Long-term
How
marketing.
scalable do you think that is, though, in these times with
Oh.
things like Blip? So
Right.
Blip is the
did
digital the digital billboards that you see on the side of the highway.
Yep.
Like Blip is, people probably think that it's something amazing that you have to go to their office and set up and all that. It's the same thing that you do on your computer. You can go to blip.com right now and sign up and put a picture up with We Buy Houses and tell them you got a $25 a month budget.
Right.
And you're gonna be on that billboard. You might not be on that billboard for a whole lot of seconds, but they're gonna put you on there.
Yeah, I did it when I first came to St. Louis. I was on a couple of them, like crossing the river and stuff. I was on there $5 a day.
Did you get a call? Did you get calls?
Yeah, I got a couple, not a ton. I didn't get a bunch, but literally all I put on there: We Buy Houses, my logo up in the top corner, and then the phone number. That was it.
That's all you can do on a billboard. They driving on the highway.
Billboard, because I knew I wasn't going to be on there a bunch at $5 a day. I'm like, I'm not going to be on here much, but when I'm on there, I want people to see it and I want them to grab it if they can.
I think that
Did
was.
you make money off those leads?
No,
or?
I mean, probably about broke even. You know, I probably got like maybe a deal out of it. I got a few calls. I think I ended up with one deal.
Because I think that was I think it might have been Max Maxwell that said he spent like $8,000 and didn't get not one call or some silly stuff off billboard. I said that's crazy.
I believe it.
Ain't no way in heck.
Yeah, I believe it.
But you got to test it sometimes, man. Like you got to think about it from Mac's standpoint. It's probably, a scalable thing because he spends a lot of money on marketing.
$8,000, not even one call. I mean, that's how I feel when I did a mail campaign about a year ago. I did one mail campaign. I think it cost me like $300 some bucks. Didn't even get one call. I said, "Oh hell no!" With that,
Mail is dead.
Not even one. Oh hell no! We have gotten deals off, those deal machine postcards and stuff, but
right.
That other way, I was like, man, I spent like $350. Didn't even get one call. It had his own number, so it ain't like no way you could be like, oh well, maybe they called and we missed it. No, not one call came in on that line.
Nope.
The biggest secret that I can tell people is with pay-per-click AdWords. That's always a marketing channel that for really cheap you can get some leads if you're not trying to compete with the big dogs. Like if you find the one or two cheap keywords that, like right now, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I am, you shouldn't even, if you're running pay-per-click, you probably shouldn't even be marketing for the We Buy Houses. You should probably be marketing for how to sell my house, my rental property with tenants. So that's a long tail keyword.
Yeah.
Not too many big guys are going to be going after long tail keywords like that. And you're probably going to be getting the $5 clicks because, that's what people are searching for right now. How to sell my rental property with non-paying tenants in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you don't even probably have to do a particular market. You can probably do that nationwide and do a deal within the next week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no ads for that long tail keyword. I just searched it. There's no ads at the top of the screen.
See what I'm saying?
Not even one. I mean, there's a lot of legal.
But when you started typing it, Google finished it out for you when you started typing it, huh?
Now, when I put in, do I have to pay rent if my landlord is selling the house? That somebody got to add for that. All property management. That's the only one that got a thing. So yeah, got to hit those. And then they got some We Buy Houses people at the bottom. So yeah, I mean, that's great. That's a great tip right there. So the biggest thing, from what I understand, I rather take the time and do the old school search engine optimization, SEO. It still works. I got several sites that's on the first page of Google. It takes a little time to work it out, put videos on there and stuff, good references. That stuff all plays a play.
Like that.
Yeah, backlinks. You want to have a bunch of links pointing to your main domain, stuff like that. I mean, that stuff works still. People just overlook. I'm gonna go pay. Why'd you pay them when I can be organically? Like I told you, like we're organic number 1, 2, and 3 for a lot of keywords. We don't get all the traffic or anything. There's people that get, they got 5 ads above us, or 3 or 4 or 5 ads above us. But if they don't, who's first organically? Still on the first thing, still in the same screenshot.
Right.
So I'll take those stragglers that went on down past the ads and went to the organic listings.
Yeah.
And come on and buy that high. So that's cool there.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got here. I think we had
questions or comments there, Chris.
We always got more. Kelly asks, what is the top property value that you guys target or attempt deals with?
That's a great question, because one of the lists I go after, the guy sells his list by county. So when you're St. Louis County, you could be getting something, in North County, you can get something out in Ladue, you can get something, Baldwin, and great areas in between. So the list itself has anything from a $10,000 rundown house to $1 million.
Castle Point.
Right, exactly. Castle Point houses to $1 million plus. So honestly, I just for my own personally, I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to go shooting for the big, $600,000 house, $500,000 house. So as I'm creating my mailing budget or my skip tracing budget, I'm not going to skip trace every single house. $1 million house. I know it's not a ton of money to skip trace it, but I'm not going to skip trace the zip codes. I cherry pick which zip codes out of there that I don't want to even bother marketing, because I know that's where the higher end houses are that I personally don't go after. But I just don't. But so I would say when I go back and I trim through it, I try to cap. I try to cap things off at like 350. But that can limit me. I could market. Give me a break. There are people selling their houses at all price points.
Right.
People have problems that need solved at all price points. Just because you got a huge house doesn't mean you're living paycheck to paycheck, because you're overextended or you're living beyond your means or whatever. So a lot of people have problems at any price point. But I just personally, I'm like, I'm not going to go for those. I'm going to go for I try to focus usually like 250 and lower, but I try not to market anything over 300, maybe 350.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. 300,000 and below. I know there's more deals out there and you can get bigger spreads, but I just keep mine simple. 300,000 and below. I don't really want to go too much higher than that. I should pull a specific list for 300,000 or more and see what I can get. I ain't never tried that. Let me put that in my notes here. 300K up. I only want the big houses. That's how you get them big deals. $100,000 spreads if you can pull it off.
Somebody says,
I don't even know how to count that stuff. I'll be like, what the heck? What's this thing worth? 2.7 million. How we know it's worth 2.7 million? I don't know. Oh, this one has a spigot of Wiggett of Tigget. I don't know. So it's worth.
I went and looked at a house within the last, it's been since COVID. It was over the summer. I went and looked at a house that was a gorgeous house. I think it was 5 bedrooms, 7 baths. It hadn't been finished yet. The plans had an in-ground pool and even a pool house, 3-car garage. It was just gorgeous house, huge house. And the people they had money from a settlement that they started the property on. And then I guess they either ran out of money or something. I guess their oldest 2 kids decided to move away or something. So they weren't going to need this huge, huge house. So they wanted to sell it. And it was going to need about $300,000 to finish it.
I wouldn't even know how to even start to get in the right ballpark for repairs for that stuff. $300,000 in repairs, good night.
Yeah, I know.
That's like 6 houses in my mind.
we couldn't, and we were going to go ahead and we were going to put an offer on it, and we were going to try to market it. We just couldn't agree on a price. We were probably about $150,000 off, which is crazy to even think of. That's hardly anything in the big spread on that house. But the ARV on that would probably be between $1 million and $1.1 million, probably. So we were trying to get there, but the other thing with those kind of houses, and this is part of the reason why I don't mess with. I know there's a lot of very, very successful rehabbers in the higher end things, but when you're talking about that kind of a price, like $1 million house, people want to call the shots on what goes in that house. The rehabber may not have picked the right color tile. The rehabber may not have picked the right granite countertop or quartz countertop or whatever. So that's a hard thing too. So I'm not doing the rehab on that. I'd be wholesaling it, but I just, in my mind, it's like the higher end houses, the end buyer wants more to say about how it looks. I think that's personally, but
yeah,
maybe I don't have the data to back that up.
And even when you're doing a property like that, the higher price point you go, the less buyers there's going to be.
Absolutely.
How many buyers buying at $1 million cash?
Right.
Maybe 10,
right.
Maybe 30 in the whole city, maybe if that. And I'm just throwing a number out there. It might be less, might be 5.
Right. No, yeah, right. It's the same guy buying all of those houses.
Yeah, they do one a year. They don't do, they ain't flipping a bunch of properties if they are doing those type. They might do 1 or 2 a year to do one good project.
And you're right. That's you cast a big net. You want to catch as many fish you can in that net. Not a super small net and miss not catch anything. But that's kind of like, it's also like that when you're building even lists to mail, right? Everybody talks about, build a stackable list, look for vacant properties and then tag in the out of state owners and then put in a certain price point. That's great. But the more things you stack in, the smaller and smaller and smaller your list gets, right? Which is good if you go from 80,000 to 200, but it's not so good if you go from 80,000 to 6.
Yep. Drop quick. You'd be like, oh man, how'd that happen?
There's been a lot of times I've been playing around with some of those things, and I go from like 700. I'm like, maybe this next thing will drop it down just a little bit more, and it goes 0 results found. I'm like, what? Come on.
You start getting up there too high, it gets more and more difficult.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We want it simple.
Yep.
We want it so easy that you can't mess up.
I'm all about the low hanging fruit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not ashamed of that. I go for some higher stuff, higher hanging fruit too. But I'm all about. Who wouldn't want to get the low hanging fruit? It's the least amount of effort needed.
Grab it.
Right. I'm hungry. I don't need to climb up to the top of the tree to get my apple.
That's right. Don't bite the apple, Eve. Let's see here. Deidre wants to know, what would you offer for 9 properties whose ARV is 757,000?
That's total, right? 750 total, not each, right? It's not a 9 pack.
The whole package deal sound like.
Where are they?
Yeah, what market is that in, Deidre? 9 houses.
And is it in a 70% market? Is it in a 65% market? Is it in a 75%
Let's see,
market?
575. Oh, I'm backwards. It's 757. I almost put the wrong thing in there. So 757,000 ARV.
And then
if that's 30%, you're talking about 530 right there minus repairs. So I'm around 320. And I don't need to see no house. Lock them all up, 320, let's go. You're like, well, you ain't even look at them. Don't need to.
Right.
No, I shouldn't say that.
No, but say 220. No.
Oh, yeah, I might have went too high. 120 deal.
Right, yeah.
Close on all $9. Total.
Yeah, no matter how big your package is, I should have worded that differently. Sorry about that. No matter how many houses you have in a package, you can treat it the same way. A couple different things. Are they rehabs, right? Because think about that. Your market's different. The way you're going to try to market it and sell. If you're not the end buyer, if you're trying to assign that to somebody, you're going to market it different if they're rental properties. If you think these are strong rental properties, you're going to actually try to market it at a specific net return on an investment, right? So that calculation is different than If you just say, well, the 700 and what, I forget the number now, 720,
757.
$750,000 worth of properties, ARV. You're looking at, like you said, 530 before repairs, and each one needs 10,000 repairs, so that's another 90. So now you're for whatever, and then take out your fee. Are you charging 1,000 per property, 10,000 per property? Figure that out. Yeah, I think you're right, Chris.
She said it's in Oregon, Ohio, and she said she offered 500,000 and the owner was pissed.
You know what? I don't know about you, Chris. When an owner gets ticked off about your offer, a couple things happen, right? I mean, one is they don't understand you're trading that cash for convenience, right? It's like, I'm giving you cash so we can close this quickly. So there's a convenience fee. When you walk into a convenience store, you're going to pay more for that soda than a 2-liter soda at Walmart, right?
Right.
So there's that. And the other part, a lot of times, is that people get ticked because they're mad at themselves. They're mad that they let a house, go ransack. They let a house. They paid too much for a house originally. Maybe they bought this house at the top of the last housing market, and or whatever, and now it's not worth what it was, or I'm just saying, just giving examples. So a lot of times people are mad at themselves. They, I know a couple guys who bought a house, we're gonna fix it and flip it even. They wait, what do they say? Over rehab? You can over rehab?
For the areas. Somebody did that up there close to Castle Point in Moline Acres.
Right?
In Moline Acres, he put about $70,000-$80,000 into a house in Moline Acres. So, it's worth $120 all day. Like, there's no houses over there selling for that. Not even one.
No. Oh.
But it's perfect. It's a perfect house. The price, you overdid it. I mean, I told him that.
Yep.
Definitely don't want to do that.
No.
But yeah, what I would do on a situation like that, I try to break those houses down. I mean, I know they do want to do the, a package deal or whatever. I look at them on an individual basis. If, it's 9 houses and 7 of them are occupied, the other 2 vacant, I'll focus on them 2 vacant or something, where I can do something. I don't have to get them all. I would work the ones I can work, because the numbers may work on those 2 vacants or whatever, versus messing around with that other house, that the cream of the crop, the one they love the most. That's where most of that ARV came from, the best house. And they're like, oh, but my mom grew up in that house. Keep that raggedy house. I buy the other 8. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You tell people, I do. I don't know. I mean, I tell people, like, that's a great example, is that people get attached, emotionally attached, right? I grew up in that house. I got all these memories here, and they think that's worth $300,000 in itself. And I flat out tell people, look, especially in those situations where this was my mom's house, it's the house my mom grew up in. She raised our whole family in this house. Look, I wish I could pay you for the memories you have. And I've had that conversation. I wish I could pay you for the memories you have. I really do. I honestly do. But when it all comes down to it, the numbers are the numbers, and unfortunately, I can't do that. So
the numbers are what the numbers are.
That's right. But
and they getting all.
Hopefully that answered. I mean, man. So they got mad at your offer.
I mean, how could they be mad if it's worth $757? Are all these houses perfect with tenants in them, paying top market rents, and recently renovated within the last 2 years? I mean, there must be something going on. Why would they be pissed? Why? Really, the real question is, why haven't you listed them with a real estate agent? I ask every seller that.
Yeah.
Because I want them to tell me, they're going to take too long, or, oh, no, I don't know what it'll sell for, or, no, I don't want a bunch of people. I want them to tell me their pain, so that when it's come time to this negotiation, I got something to go back with. If I don't have some information I can use later, I mean, you told me, what are you going to do if you're not able to sell it? I'm just going to keep renting it out. Now you just talked yourself into a lease option situation or something with me, or something. It's always a way to make these deals happen outside of just assuming that, it's the end of the world and you're done. No.
Right. Yep.
Because that sounds like a good number. You see, what did I say? 320, and she said 500.
Yeah. 500. I mean, that 500 is just giving you 30,000 for 7 houses or whatever that was. And that's if they were perfect. If they didn't even.
Wait a minute, it's 9 houses though. So you said 500 divided by 9 is 55,000 a house. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta be. Makes sense.
500,000.
My houses one of the houses alone is worth 190. We'll keep that one. We'll maybe buy the other ones for about 55 each. But I don't like package deals. I mean, I'm not really a fan of it. I know you like them, Rich. You love those package deals.
Sometimes out of necessity. Sometimes it just so happens to be a package. You can build a package because even if you get like 3 individual deals, maybe you can put it together as a package.
See, and that's it right there. She just said it. They don't even want the tenants to know he's trying to sell. That's a convenience fee, man. Yep. We can make this all come together for you perfect and go. And like I said, if you can focus on the ones that are vacant, if any are vacant, or which one is the one you really want to sell. If you was to pick a couple out of this that you really, really want to get rid of, which ones would it be?
Yep.
See, when you ask those right questions, it gets them in the right mindset, and they'll tell you a lot of times how to close them. Versus assuming that, oh, well, I just got to come up with this number out of thin air. I mean, what did they say they wanted for it? I mean, I guess it was more than 500.
Right.
I want, well, the ARV says 757, and I want 750. And I got tenants that I don't want to know that I'm selling. And I got 3 of them that ain't been paying since COVID. And 2 houses haven't been rehabbed in 22 years. Get out of here, boy.
They don't tell you the whole story. You're right. They don't tell you the whole story.
2 are vacant. Look at that. I'm psychic. She said it. 2 are vacant. How did I know 2 are vacant? And I don't know.
Go after those.
Go after those 2.
2 out of 9.
I called it early on. I said 2 of them must be vacant. Let me buy those because those are the easiest ones to sell. Because think about it. Even if you do get them under contract for the number you want, he don't want the tenants to know what he's selling. How are you going to show them? You see what I'm saying? When you're dealing with tenants, it's a problem a lot of times. It could kill your deal. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I hate. I mean, I've done it and I do it, but I really dislike. I should have said hate. I dislike entering into deals where there's the owner is occupying the place. I really dislike it. It just makes it harder to schedule a showing or whatever. I love if it's vacant, whether mom moved out or tenants moved out or whatever it is, that's obviously the best scenario. But you can make it work. I've had that situation. I've worked with a guy who owned a package of properties, didn't want his tenants to know that he was selling. So he walked around and introduced me as the new maintenance man. I'm like, dude. He came. I didn't know he was doing it until he walked in. He's like, "Yeah, this is the new maintenance man. I'm just showing him the houses so he knows what shape they're in." I'm like, oh my gosh, man!
Wow.
So, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have dressed the part, and instead of slacked, in khaki.
You all clean. They're like, you're a clean maintenance man. What are you fixing on? Nothing.
My first day. I'm trying to get the job. This is my interview.
Yeah, I mean, I see. It's a convenience fee. I don't know if Deidre, if you saw my other video I put out about a week ago. If there's problems with these sellers and stuff like that, there's a charge for that. I gotta jump through hoops. You want to hide from the seller, hide from this, sneak and do that. You want me to play the game and make it go through? You're gonna cooperate with me, whether it's with the price, whether it's with the terms, whether it's with something. It's a give and take for everything. Yep. How do you deal with tenant occupied properties, Chris?
So we usually tell the tenants that property management is coming through or insurance or something like that. That way we don't give them too much of an inclination that the seller or the owner is trying to get rid of the property. But we usually do the insurance. The insurance usually works, because we come to take pictures. We looking at the condition of the property. We want to see if this is something that we want to insure. If not, no worries. We'll be in and out. We don't need to talk to no tenants or nothing like that. But I do have a funny story, though. Well, it's not really funny, but it's a crazy story. But me and Dutch actually went over to an appointment that we had in Dallas on a property. And it had major foundation issues and stuff like that. But the more weirder thing about it was that the tenant was not buying the insurance thing at all.
They ain't stupid.
And in this particular area, the rents were about $1,350 market rents. And I think she was in there paying like maybe $700. And she had, 3 or 4 kids or whatever, but it was probably the cheapest place that you're going to find over there, because in Dallas, that's one thing about this market. The rents are the rents, and it's no budget on the rents. If they want $1,000, they want $1,500, they want $1,400. That's it usually but it's going to be no negotiations. So I knew that she didn't want to move because that would put her outside her budget. With the amount of kids that she had, she would be going from paying that $700 to about $1,500 a month.
And why do people write leases like that where the rent can't go up and you're stuck in it? And I mean, I don't understand why people do that.
It wasn't that the rent couldn't go up. What this particular guy was doing was leaving the property in as is condition. Because when I say foundation issues, you had gaps in between the wall and the floor that big, like probably 3 to 4 or 5 inches. Then in the kitchen, it was almost like walking up a street with a hill.
Oh my God.
So like the kitchen table was sitting on the hill. She had it where the kitchen table was sitting on the hill, and the most levelest part of the floor is where you would walk to go out the back door. But that was the thing. To avoid fixing the problem and avoid the property being vandalized and being in either worse condition, he could rent it out to somebody that couldn't afford to live anywhere else. But the whole time she was looking at us like, if you buy this property, please do not put us out. And for me, that was the deal breaker. We could have done something with the property, but it was just like, if I wholesale this to somebody I already know, they're going to put them out. And the reason why I knew that is because the house next door was a fresh flip. And when I say a fresh flip,
just done agreeable gray.
Just done. No, it was the millennial blue. The house is the millennial blue with the white trim, had the big, the big trees that they have in front of Home Depot with the red pots with the pine trees in it.
Yep.
It had those type of trees out there, fresh landscaping, and the MLS listing was at 189.9. So I knew anybody that purchased it was going to flip it and they were going to be gone. And I was just like, man, we could do the deal, but it at the end of the day, the check ain't going to make sense for what these people are about to go through. So we didn't mess with it. And somebody out of Arizona ended up buying it. And
they flipped it.
I haven't checked on it to see if they flipped it or what they did with it, but that's usually what we do. We just play the insurance role, but man,
I don't even know why they do all that. I mean, I know why, but I'm like, what's wrong with just saying we just want to come see the house? It's in your lease that we can see it within 24-hour notice anyway. We're coming to see it. I mean, it ain't like.
The problem with that is that most people are going to move because they think they're going to get a new landlord that's going to raise the rent on them, or it's going to be some new rules or restrictions, or two. It will be a situation where they probably won't pay rent under the new ownership.
Yeah, and that's the scary part about even wholesaling those properties with tenants involved. Especially these seasons. You know how many tenants are not paying? Just like how many people aren't paying their mortgage and forbearance. There's a lot, and they already got all the things ready right now for January 2nd to go foreclosure. They got auctions set up.
So like the guy on the Suncrest property that I sold to Christina, he told the tenants that he was selling, and sure as shit, the day we closed, they moved out. So I had to call Christina and tell her that, that property that you just bought for $15 that was generating $700 a month, $750 a month, you need to find a tenant.
I mean, especially if you're going to buy, though, what's wrong with just letting them know that we want to keep you here and just screen them. I mean, I know there is times you want to use those strategies, but is there ever a time that you can just be transparent all the way around? Is that possible, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the best policy. I mean, it can be. Some people don't realize. I mean, especially in that situation, and maybe not all state laws may be like this, but I know Illinois is, and I think Missouri is, that if there's a lease in place, the new owner has to honor that existing lease. So if you just signed a new 1 year, you renewed for a 1 year lease, the new owner is going to have to, but tenants may not understand that. Tenants freak out. They think, oh my gosh, they're selling. I'm going to have to find a place to move. So I'm going to be proactive. I'm just going to go ahead and find a place to move so I don't get kicked out. I'll move on my own terms.
And so that's why wouldn't it be better just to talk to the tenant? I mean, what do you think about staying here? Because I asked, I mean, absolutely. I don't ask them for the purpose of that. I ask them how long you been here. You plan on staying here forever? You ever thought about buying it? If I talk to a tenant, I mean I'm buying or anything. I just ask them a simple question. Got to take that I buy houses hat off if I do all that. But still,
right.
I prefer.
That's true. I mean, that's such a great point because, you get a feel for them. Are they going to stay, or do they want to stay, or are they interested in leaving? And you could possibly even talk them off the ledge. I mean, say, look, we'd like to keep you here. Or at least let that out. If we buy the house, you're not necessarily going to have to leave.
Let them know that if they know that up front, everybody's at ease and they can transfer. Because I sold a property like that with a tenant in it, and the tenant and the seller didn't want them to know we were selling. We actually did the deal, looked at the deal, closed on the deal, made $10,000 on that deal anyway.
Nice.
They went over by 170 in Page area.
Really?
So. Yeah, had under contract for 34,000, sold it for 44,000.
Nice.
But probably could have sold it for more for real, but sold it, and it was a tenant in there, and they found out after we closed that, we got a new property management or whatever you want to call it. But it's like, how you gonna lie, close on it, and then try to lie to cover up the lie after the thing? You know what I mean? I guess it is a double-edged sword. I guess it depends on the tenant you're dealing with and the situation that's going on. That's why whenever leads.
Another thing, not to cut you off, Chris, you got to understand the level of trust. So when I say trust, you got to think about the rapport and all that. What if the wholesaler, excuse my French, ain't shit?
Yeah.
And you did all that, showed him the property, blah, 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 blah. And then nothing happens.
Yep.
Now you created this big ruckus about you selling the property, this person, that person, and then the wholesaler doesn't come through, and you blow their tenant. Tenant moves out because they're scared, so on and so forth. And then too, you got to think about the angle of the owners that you get that think they can't sell the property until the tenants move out. You get
there's a lot of those.
Say, well, after the lease is up, give me a call back.
Yep.
I'll say put it on the contract now. We'll close it when they move out.
I think it's more so of the unknown than anything. And I like it that way to do the property management or insurance, because at the end of the day, it might be a nice property. It might be a good deal. But if nobody's buying, nobody's buying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to create a situation where you have my tenant, this and that, and then, because I'm definitely not going to pay you to rent if they move out.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's the thing. So even on our original intake sheet or intake from any new lead, if they even mention something about, there's tenants in there, we want to know how much they're paying, when is their lease in, do they even know you're selling, how do they feel about you selling? I mean, that's a whole damn near script right there just for that. It's in red on our script. If they mention tenants, we need to know this information, because that could be a deal breaker.
Yep.
And many times that's why they're selling. The tenant ain't paying, or the tenant tearing up house, or roaches everywhere, whatever the situation is. We don't know. That tenant is usually the reason why those people are selling those properties.
Yeah. I love the they're self-managed, so they don't have a rent roll. Bullcrap. That means they know their tenants aren't paying, and they don't want to show you that. That's exactly what that means.
You just never know.
The landlord is living off the rents himself and doesn't keep track of anything.
Yep.
And takes what he can get when he can get it. The rents
just went through that.
Right.
And they give them $450 or $500 and never mention anything else about the extra $150.
Right. Yep.
And that's exactly.
And he doesn't say anything because he's probably living off Social Security and the rents.
Right.
Y'all trying to take my check.
True.
Yeah, that he's not even keeping up. He probably ain't been over there in 3 years.
Right. True.
That's how they do you.
That's
So
very true.
it looked like we've been on here about an hour and a half. You got any closing statements you want to make, Chris Jackson, making it happen?
Yeah. If you're new to this or you're trying to get started, I seen that question asked earlier, and you don't have a whole lot of money, you don't have a car or whatever the case may be, you can always drive for dollars on Google Maps. You know, look at the dates on those Google Maps. Sometimes they're 2019, might be updated 2020. If you see something that looks vacant or whatever the case may be, you know, create you a notepad and write them down. Skip trace them, hand dial them. You know.
Wait a minute, hand out. That sounds like work, Chris.
Yeah, it's work, but if you don't have the money, marketing costs, whether it's high dollar or low dollar, it costs. If you don't have it to part ways with, man, there's methods. You know, the been verified and stuff like that, yellow pages, white pages, or whatever.
Yep.
Man, just keep dialing until you get somebody on the phone.
Yep.
What's the saying? The saying you're going to pay, right? You're going to pay one way. You're either going to pay with money or you're going to pay with time.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't always look to do, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on your first deal. I'm experienced, and I still do deals where I ain't made nothing but $750 off of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the thrill of the deal, and the buck gets me to the next one.
True.
So don't always, you know, look to get $1 million. It ain't always gonna be like that.
That's true.
But when it comes, they come.
You're right. No one single deal is going to land you in retirement, right?
No deal left behind. I don't know. One deal could change your life. You get a $300,000 deal, it could change your life.
Oh, sure. And I mean, and absolutely. And that's why, it's all, I mean, it can change your life. Even if you get one deal, say it's a $3,000 deal and you're working part-time at a McDonald's. I mean, that could change your life. I mean, in
That
a
is a life
way,
changer.
you take that money and you keep the ball rolling, right? Now you invest in some marketing. Now you don't just go out and blow it, but that money, that first deal can change your life because now you can take that money, you can reinvest it into your business and be more successful.
Yeah.
That's the
But
truth.
like Chris said, you know, one deal can change your life. When he said that, I was thinking about that couple on the Flip Bands podcast that did that deal up in Washington, D.C., where they made $120 grand or $30 grand. They made $130 grand, but here's the deal: the wholesaler wholesaled the wholesaler.
Oh my God, there was that much
He
spread
turned
on.
around and made $70 grand.
Oh my!
And then the guy after him made another, I think, probably 20 or something like that.
Dang.
So that was a deal that they probably could have made over $210,000
That's
off.
crazy.
Right.
You're only one deal away.
Man.
You know anybody down in what is it? Jacksonville, Florida, Chris?
Crystal Johnson.
Oh, okay. I got a deal down there. Well, it's a turnkey deal.
Crystal Johnson. She has some buyers, and I think she's definitely in a position to do a JV.
I like the house. I want to buy it myself, but I ain't in that market.
You want to take it over subject to?
If you want to bring that loan current of $24,000, because I sure looked into that. I said, "What is the arrears on this thing?" I had to have them go back and check. They said, "Oh yeah, to bring that loan
$24,000.
They ain't paid in 19 months."
How do you not pay in that? Man,
that's the same thing I said. They said, "Yeah, the seller hasn't paid in 19 months." They thought the bank took it a long time ago. They got it set up to go on auction first week of January.
It's absentee owner. Or
they moved out. They've been gone. They've been gone for a long time. They thought the house was took. They like, I just want to get rid of it.
You know,
and it's a beautiful house. Matter of fact, I can show it. I don't know if I can show it on my screen.
Sure.
Oh, excuse me.
I'll double check. One participant can share at a time. So yeah, you're all good.
Let me see if I can do this without messing up something.
Florida is one of those markets.
Out here in I mean, it's not a pool, but let me see. I don't know. Let me take this off the screen. I got too much stuff on this other screen. Am I sharing on Zoom or no?
Not yet.
Okay, so let me see what I got to do that.
It's on Facebook.
Okay, you can see it on Facebook. Okay, good. So this property here, it don't need nothing. It need like maybe $5K, clean it up or something, and maybe cut the grass or something, just to find some work. It's a beautiful house. They go for like $240 over there. Look at that big open floor plan. It's a beautiful house. I'm like, shoot. That's when I first looked at it. I'm like, what y'all talking about, man? Y'all better take that house down subject to. I'll buy that thing, and I ain't even in Jacksonville, Florida. Look at that stainless steel appliances.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna look around for you. I want to do something with you on that one.
Look at that beautiful house.
Somebody will do it. But this is what I was gonna say. For wholesalers that's been in the business for a little while and kind of got a little bit of knowledge of how this stuff works, beginning of the year, or when the foreclosures start really coming around, Florida is one of those markets. Florida and Georgia is one of those markets to where you could build a portfolio.
Hell yeah.
Of rental properties real quick.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, there's nice properties and the banks are not foreclosing on these properties right away.
That's what I'm looking. I'm like, this is a nice house. I'm like, what's wrong with it? They're like, I mean, it needs some paint up here on the roof. I can see somebody did something up there. I don't know what that is, but it needs a little touch up. But what's that?
So far behind in payments.
19 months.
First Airbnb.
Hell yeah. Well, so I calculated gonna need about $32,000 to bring it current.
Okay.
Yeah. If it wasn't that far behind, that'd be a nice Airbnb.
Yeah, because I'm like, the payments on it is like $1,100 a month. I think even a rent over there is like $1,600 or something like that. So it would have cash flow. It's just that you got to bring that $30,000 plus to the closing to bring that loan current, pay those back fees, and
you should see, Chris. You should see if you got the authorization to release already filled out and stuff. I think it's worth your time to see if you can get those payments
put on the back of the loan. It's a VA loan too.
I think that you will be able to give them about $2,500
and take over that bad boy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a house in Jacksonville.
I think it's worth it, bro. Honestly, I think it's worth the phone call just to see if they would do it. To see if you can work it out to where, even if you wholesaled it to somebody else.
Well, see, so this house, there's one small problem with this house. It was listed on the MLS. It's sold, but then the buyer backed out. So now they back to square one. And I'm like, what's wrong with this house? Sell this house. It's still livable and everything. So that's the only issue with it. If somebody look it up and be like, oh, it was on the MLS. What happened there?
Repairs? Or it just needs power washing?
You say what now?
Does it need repairs?
I would say less than 10K for sure. Like paint and stuff. Depending on if you want to do something to it. The house don't look bad at all.
I would use that to my advantage and call the bank and be like, hey, we tried to sell it. It ain't working. Can we put this on the back end and just start the payments? And that'll be on Airbnb.
That bad boy nice.
Or whatever. Yeah. Because you're in the furniture business, you know how to get on OfferUp and find some little furniture to move in there or something.
You know it. Drop me anywhere in America. I'm gonna figure out how to hustle.
Yeah, that looks like about a $250 a night house, bro.
Yeah,
on Airbnb listing.
Yeah, and if you can add some more bedrooms, it's only a 3-bedroom. If it was a 4th bedroom, you can get up to $260.
Yeah.
So
I think you could probably make $3,000 to $4,000 off of that a month.
Yeah.
$1,100 a month payment.
Yep. And it's gonna drop when we put that non-owner occupied insurance on. It might drop down about $950.
I think it's worth it, bro. I would definitely give it a shot just to see.
Okay, we'll check it out because you just never know. The worst thing they can say is no, right?
Yeah.
If you don't shoot the shot,
I might have somebody else for you too. I'm gonna reach out to Edgar, because he just took over. He just did a subject to in Cape Coral, and he's
really?
over here in Dallas.
Dang.
So he might be. It might be worth it to him. He might be interested.
People just call me on Facebook, no respect. I'm streaming live and they gonna call me on Facebook. You see how they do you? See me on here live and gonna go say, oh no, I'm gonna call Chris.
Right.
See, that's the scary thing for me is like once I do build up that nest egg of money, how many of these deals like this am I not gonna be able to
all of them?
It's like, okay, you buy how much? Let me call the bank and they want 10 right now. We'll sell everything for 10. You know.
Yep.
I know that's
but
right.
I think in this current time, though, honestly, Chris, I think in this current time with the pandemic and everything that's going on.
Well, we got to January 1 to figure it out, basically, because that's when they're going to do that auction, first week of January. Anywhere between this time, if we can
and that's still something. Months away.
Yeah, that's time. That's like what, 7 weeks, 8 weeks or something, man.
Yeah.
7 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Somebody say the non-owner occupied insurance for a rental. Please explain that, Chris. So yeah, so an owner occupied insurance policy. So if you living in a house, your insurance policy might be $150 a month. But if it's a non-owner occupied policy, like somebody got it as a rental, it might be $60, $70 a month. Yeah. It's cheaper. A non-owner occupied policy is cheaper than a homeowner occupied policy. That's it. So that payment that's in escrow with the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is going to drop when we switch the insurance, basically. Yep. But you know, I don't count nothing off of that. That's a bonus. I don't even count that as part of my profits. I mean, it might gain you an extra $60, $70 or something, maybe more, depending on the situation, depending on what they're paying for insurance. So I've seen people paying $200 a month from insurance. I'll be like, damn, that's high. And then I go get it. It's $60 a month. I like mine.
Yep.
I think people never check into that insurance thing anyway. It's like they get it once they get the loan and they never go back to the insurance company to try to renegotiate or get a lower rate. They just
live with it for 20, 30 years. I know somebody that had 2 insurance policies. I'm like, you need to cancel one. They're not going to earn both of them.
Right. Yeah.
I said, man, you paying 2. You got one that's in escrow and y'all went and got another policy. You paying 2 insurances for no reason.
Yeah.
Because somebody was trying to sell them a policy.
Not even going to get a refund on the other one that you didn't need.
That's how the
money wasted.
Money wasted. All right. Rich, you got any closing statements you want to make and tell us about the upcoming next events?
So just keep at it. I mean, November has been an awesome month for us, and you know, anybody that may be feeling down because they don't think it's going well with Corona and COVID and all that stuff. Things are still being done out there. Deals are still to be made. So keep at it. You know, don't let that be an excuse for you. It's easy, right? It's easy to use that as an excuse. It's easy to say, "Oh, I didn't do any deals this month because of Corona," you know, because of the COVID. Can't do it. No, don't use that as an excuse. Just get at it and fine tune your skills. So November for St. Louis folks, if you're in the St. Louis area and you want to join us on November 19th, we're having a face-to-face meeting at 6 p.m. at the Hooters in Maryland Heights in the St. Louis area. On November 24th, we're going to have another one of these Chris Monroe Show simulcast at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then let's see if I can get this thing out of the way. And then on December 1st, we have the Hooters House Buyers Club monthly meeting, which is the lunchtime meeting, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. via Zoom Central Time. Open to all, you know, those last two open to anybody that's interested in real estate investing nationwide. So if you want to register for those, do so at stlviplist.com.
That's right, stlviplist.com. And it looks like we got Keith Winkler coming in to drop something heavy on them before we wrap this thing up. What you got, Keith? Any closing statements?
Just thought I'd come on live, let you all know I'm still here and say goodbye.
Good, man. I'm glad you finally came on, buddy.
I've been here the whole time.
I know.
What was the best part of the whole simulcast that you've seen from the background listening, Keith?
I like hearing you talk about that most recent virtual deal down in Florida. Everybody working together, coming together to make something happen on here. That's exciting.
That's what it's all about. Your network is your net worth.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, you never know when you know somebody. You never know when you're going to talk to somebody on here who knows something that it may be the piece of the puzzle you're missing.
That's right. One little piece of the puzzle can change everything. One little drop of knowledge. You'd be like, really? I've been doing this backwards all this time? And I can just do like that?
How'd you come across that deal, Chris?
Real estate agent down there. Well, that's the thing too. A lot of people don't know. They be saying, "Oh, the internet this." The internet brings a lot of leads my way. I'm just gonna be honest. All over the United States, and I know everybody, in different parts. Like Kayla, we had on last night. She's in Vegas. Get some out there. You got somebody out there. They working in different parts. When you listening to this stuff and you see other deals in the other place, don't be afraid, guys. That's my message for today. If you ain't in the market, Chris is in Dallas. Rich over here in Illinois, and I think you're in Illinois too, right, Keith?
Yep.
I'm here in St. Louis. We're all over the place, and if we can't do it, we probably know somebody that can. You gotta, work something out. It don't even have to be always 50-50 and knock your head off. Hey, a couple grand. Hey, just throw me something, man. We work it out and throw me something, whatever. I plug you in or whatever, or you can just do it out of the kindness of your heart. But I'm not that kind. I work for mine. I know my value. I bring value to the marketplace, baby. So if somebody sees something that they want to work with, connect with me. My email is right there on the screen now. Chris@wokerealestate.com. Chris@wokerealestate.com. Y'all want to drop y'all contact info?
Sure.
Go for Chris Jackson on Facebook.
Google Chris Jackson, and you'll see his real estate portfolio.
Chris Jackson buys houses.
Yeah.
That's right. What about you, Keith? You want to share your info?
Keith@possibilitiesinproperties.com.
Awesome.
Possibilities and properties.
You can always if you go to the STOVIPlist.com and put your name and stuff, I'm going to get your information anyway. But if you want to reach out to me personally, try Metro STL Homes at gmail.com.
Well, there it is. Thanks everybody for coming out. We'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Okay.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks everybody for coming out.
All right.
Thank you.
And that's how we do it. We just can't lose it. Poof. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like. Give it a share. If you're listening on the Woke Real Estate Podcast, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. We need it. Every 5-star rating helps us move up in the algorithm. We're on multiple platforms, and we need to move up on all of them to help more and more people, to network with more and more people, to grow your influence. Don't forget, join that free Facebook group, the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook, talking about subject 2, talking about lease options, talking about seller financing, and so much more. That's a free Facebook group, the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook. Check that out for sure. You'll be happy you did. Don't forget, next Monday, the 16th, we'll be on. I'll be talking about some ways to market your deals and sell your deals, dispositions. That's the plan for next Monday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. That'll be a great one there. The following week, we're on with Mr. Tajani down in Houston, Texas, talking about those short-term rentals to help you get that Airbnb business off the ground or work out any kinks you may find. We were talking about in this stream about finding leads, get more leads than you can handle at wokesource.com. Get that 7-day free trial. Wokesource.com. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. You'll be like, man, why I ain't had this weeks ago? I should have had this the day I started. And that dollar I was talking about that you can use, I think it's like $50 a month right now. So I would jump in before the price goes up. WokeReply.com. You'll get rid of all your other services once you try this out. WokeReply.com. All you do is speak to people. Set it up and forget it. It's real simple. So hopefully this video provided you some type of value or something of some type. And don't forget, for those Monday night streams, text JV to 31996. That'll get you on the joint venture agreement. You'll get the joint venture agreement there. Plus, you'll be added to the notification squad. So you'll be notified and notified. All right. So thank you, everybody that tuned in. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. Give it a share. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Peace.
And we have and we have Mr. I stay whoa, 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 and Mr. I stay.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Look up phone numbers and email addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match, not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com.